Most people miss the shocking reality that your faith rarely grows in visible ways. So what if the signs your faith is secretly strengthening aren't what you'd expect, and right now, you're living through them? Suddenly, you find yourself drawn to God's Word, not out of duty or guilt, but a deep, persistent hunger that feels almost unexplainable. When you open the Bible, it's no longer just black ink on white pages. It's living, breathing, sharper than a double-edged sword, judging thoughts and attitudes of the heart, Hebrews 4:12. Even the hardest verses hit different. What once made no sense now seems to speak directly into your daily struggles and secret questions. The second sign is just as hidden but impossible to fake. You notice bitterness and resentment quietly losing their grip on your life, replaced by an unsettling urge to forgive and let go, even when your pride screams for revenge. Like Jesus saying, "Father, forgive them," you begin to sense a supernatural ability to forgive that isn't coming from you, but from Christ within you. Colossians 3:13. You can't explain why you're finally able to release old grudges, but you know something eternal is at work below the surface. Remarkably, the third sign is found in your private battles with sin. You used to flirt with temptation, bargaining and making excuses, but now something inside you recoils at what you once justified. Secretly, your appetite for sin is fading. Habitual patterns are losing their allure, not because you're suddenly strong, but because you can't enjoy darkness when the light of Christ is exposing every motive. 1 John 1:9, 1 Peter 1:14-16:3. You haven't become sinless, but sin weighs heavier and confession comes quicker. There's a holy discomfort when you compromise, a longing to run back to God instead of hiding in shame. The fourth sign is shockingly countercultural. The more your faith grows, the less dependent you are on your own plans, opinions, or abilities. You find yourself desperate for God's wisdom in ways that would once have felt weak or even reckless. Proverbs 3:5-6. When faced with choices big or small, you pause, not out of indecision, but because you seriously want God's direction over your own preferences. You've learned the warning hidden in self-reliance, how pride comes before a fall, and instead you humble yourself, praying for the Spirit to guide even the details of your day. Lastly, the most unmistakable sign is found in the fruit nobody sees at first, a secret, slow transformation of your character. Your reactions under pressure start to mirror Christ's, shockingly patient when you once raged, peaceful where anxiety used to rule, quietly loving with no strings attached. Galatians 5:22-23. People close to you sense the difference. You handle criticism or adversity with a grace that isn't your own. These are not mere personality tweaks, but Spirit-birthed evidence that you're becoming the kind of witness Jesus envisioned, not just believing, but radiating His love, joy, and peace, even when nobody's watching. If you recognize these hidden markers, an insatiable hunger for God's truth, a supernatural urge to forgive, a fierce intolerance for old sin, a humble dependence on Jesus over your own wisdom, and a steady flowering of spiritual fruit, don't ignore them. This is the warning. Faith that secretly grows demands public obedience. The challenge now is whether you'll lean into the Spirit's work and risk loving, serving, and obeying with a boldness you never thought you had. It's not about looking spiritual. It's about being transformed so deeply that even your private life tells the story of Christ. Embrace these signs, because God always finishes what He starts. Philippians 1:6.